Hi, Kelly.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. I'm just turning my lamp on here.
Yeah, I'm just getting settled in here too. So
Okay.
noticed you hit the record button before we even got started here. That's good.
Yeah, I always have it automatic, but I often, depending on what time I get into there,
Oh, yeah, right.
I'll turn it off if needed. And then, yeah, all good. Mm. Hey, we match.
Hey, same color. Yeah.
Turquoise day today.
Maybe we need to have something to say.
Right?
Yeah, well, we got sunshine here today after we got the storm you guys had a couple of days ago. So
Oh,
like
yeah.
finally we got the sun back, so which is great
Yep.
because
Here too.
hey, we my daughter just texted and then called. She was coming and she lives out of town. So she had an appointment this morning with her son. And she sent me a few pictures of a semi in a ditch.
Oh, no.
And so she said, this is where my side road meets the highway. And I said, oh, wow. And then about 5 minutes later, I get a phone call. Well, I just got off the call with the 911. And I went, oh, she said, yeah, I called because that semi that I saw, there's still a guy sitting inside the truck.
Oh, no.
So she's my little good Samaritan these days.
Was he hurt? Like you
She
think he
didn't,
would
well, she
have.
couldn't stop because she got the two littles and it's icy. And so she just thought she would phone dispatch and get them to send somebody out. And the lady at dispatch said, yeah, good idea with two little people and this storm. And like, had she stopped, she'd have been climbing through, 2 foot high snow drifts to a possibly unstable semi truck.
Right.
So
Yeah.
she said, we'll let the authorities look after it.
No,
Maybe a
that's
farmer will pull over and have a look and see if the guy's okay. It's not a place for mommy and two little people. So,
right. No.
but she did, however, phone and call. So,
Yeah. Nice.
well,
Well,
yeah.
that's good.
Hey, I got a question for you. What is your actual birthday? Because I'm hearing all this stuff and I'm going, well, is it soon? I'm hoping it's soon so this is over.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. But you know what? I've shifted. It's all good. I have had a really great energetic shift this week
Oh, good.
and I mean it's stuff you work through. It's just we're all working through something.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's
what month is it?
May
Oh,
1st.
it is coming soon. Okay.
Yeah.
May
Yeah.
1st?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow. It is really soon.
Yeah, it is. My sister actually, I guess it's 2 weeks, right?
Yep.
Tomorrow. My sister shares the same birthday with me. So um May is
Older
a
or
huge,
younger?
she's
Older.
2 years older, but
Yeah,
I was
because you're
born on
the,
her birthday. Yeah.
oh, what a gift.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought. I don't know if she thought so, but
Well, my brother and my daughter share the same birthday,
hmm.
and I share the same birthday with my youngest grandson,
Oh,
Edward.
nice.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
you
pretty
do that
special. I
too.
think it's pretty special. So
It is. We've doubled up a lot in ours too. Like my oldest sister was born on my dad's birthday, and then I was born on my middle sister's birthday. And my nephew was born on his dad's birthday. And it's like we just have all these doubles, but we have
well,
a lot of family birthdays in May, a lot. So I'm
and
like,
you
what?
hear these things. It's like, could you not pick another day out of 364 other days? And it's like,
Yeah,
no, it's a blessing to be born on somebody else's birthdays. I
right?
think it is, anyways. I
Yeah.
share I share a birthday with my cousin. She's 84, no, 85. So she's so she'll be 5 years older than my mom. So, she was born way before my mom was even thought of
Yeah.
because there's two others ahead of my mom before her. So, but they all grew up together. They're all cousins and aunties and they're all the same age. So
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. And then my grandson, his birthday is May 2nd, but it technically was supposed to be May 1st. He was trying really, really hard to get there for May 1st. But yeah, my daughter went through pretty much hell in that labor. And it was finally when she went into the hospital for the third time because the nurses kept sending her home because she wasn't dilating, but she was in
Oh
full
my.
labor, like full labor. It was awful. And finally, the third time, her husband took her in because, she just, you know what it's like to be in labor. And the doctor happened to be in there, and he's like, the nurses are like, no, we got to send her home. She's only like 3 centimeters dilated. And the doctor went like, what? No, you guys, look at her. Like, let's get her in. So it was like 4 in the morning or something like that. And so he was born by emergency C-section
Yeah.
then, because all of a sudden her vitals started dropping, his vitals or the baby's dropped. And so they're like, get her in, get her in. So it turned out to be in the morning on May 2nd. And I'm like, I know you tried, honey. Hi,
So
Jen. Hi, Delmaine. Yeah, sorry, Kelly. Go ahead.
I just noticed, Jen, you better go put a turquoise top on.
Oh, look at
They all
Delmaine.
wearing blue.
Yeah, turquoise blue.
I said to Janice, I said, clearly we all have something to say this morning.
I do
Absolutely.
on that note, my granddaughter's birthday is May 1st.
Oh, cool.
Now, what was so special about May 1st, though?
It's my birthday.
Oh, cool. That's
It's special. Everybody needs to celebrate on May 1st.
Yeah.
We will be. Yeah.
No.
Wow.
I just want to let y'all know that I am packing and getting ready for a trip, but I really want to be here. So I'm just going to turn my video off, but I will be listening.
Where are you
Okay.
going?
We're going to Newport Beach. My husband is in his series of like, we get to go out to California like 5 times in the next 2 months for him to take classes. So that's why we were in Las Vegas a couple weeks ago. And then today it's Newport Beach, in 2 weeks at San Diego. So yeah, I'm in. I just get to go. And I am
nice.
intentionally not taking my computer or any workbooks. I'm only taking a fun book to read. So we'll see how that works.
Okay, so you're
How
not
my
here on
anxious
Monday?
mind works. No, I am
Is
here
this-
on Monday. We get
Okay.
home on Monday morning.
Oh,
Or
okay.
Sunday night late.
Okay, cool. It's
Yeah.
like,
What's
just
on
double
Monday?
checking.
Oh, Monday is it's another get together for something. I forgot. I watched the video the other day.
Okay, yes. Monday is a casual human design chat. So
Right.
at 9:30. And Jen has graciously agreed to come in and help us just understand the basics of human design. She's
Oh,
not
good.
doing
Cool.
readings or anything, but so I'm going to send that out to everybody just in our certification group. So
And do we send it to you or to Jen? Our
your human
whatever.
design?
Yeah.
Well, you can send it to me.
Oh.
It doesn't matter, but I'm going to send you a link for Jen's website too. That's going to give you kind of an interactive chart for you. Like once you put your info in, it'll give you an interactive chart that you can learn more on too. So you don't really need to send it to me, but I'm curious. Send it to me.
Okay.
That mine to you, didn't I, Janice? I think I sent you a copy.
I got 2. No, I don't think you did.
No?
I
Or
have
maybe I just told you what the numbers were.
maybe. No, I have
Now I
Karen.
really want to know. Now I'm like, wait, let's
I'm a
let me figure
projector.
this out.
Right?
Okay, that doesn't surprise me at all.
No, it really fits. Actually, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I think I'm, what is it, 5'1"?
Are you a 5'1"?
I think
My
so.
husband's a 5'1", and our oldest daughter is a 5'1".
I'm
Yeah.
a 5'1".
Are you?
Manifestor. What? Well, you probably know that already.
You know, I intentionally kind of don't hold people's information like that, because unless I'm like, if I'm in conflict with you or something, then I might look at it to figure out like how I can figure out how you're thinking. Hi, Micah.
Morning,
But
Micah.
I don't walk around holding that information in my head. I wish my head were big enough for all of that information, but it's
Well,
not.
It's hard to remember. I keep asking these guys, what are you again? What are you? But
Mhm.
yeah, Karen, I have Karen's and Osho's. So Osho's from the other group. So
Okay.
Well, I'm a generator 4-6, so I don't know what that is.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. So, Micah, we're just talking about on Monday, from Monday morning, we're going to have just a casual human design gathering for people to just get their chart and make sure like they understand the basics of it, because it is pretty like another language when you first look at it, right? So, Jen is graciously said she'd come in and help us understand parts of it, which is really cool because I was going to struggle my way through it a little bit. But I do like once you understand, it's like, okay, I know, like break it down to the different pieces and look at it. I'm not going in depth because I don't, it's like, oh my God, there's so much information.
There's
Mhm.
a lot.
But do you know what I just did, Jen, this morning too, is I ordered a Gene Keys calendar. It's a calendar book. A couple of years ago, I had a Gene Keys calendar. Richard Rudd used to sell it off his website, and I
Yeah.
had ordered it, but I didn't see it there anymore. And I'm like, yeah, he's probably way beyond that now because he's got so much out there.
He's got a lot going on. I
Right.
will tell you that my goal is maybe even, I'm not putting a deadline on myself, but I'm going to put together a downloadable journal thing for next year. Well, for starting whenever it starts, it's going to have the gates that we're transiting through, the moon cycle that we're in, and then like not just journal prompts, but like doodle prompts that go along with it to help you, like neurographica stuff. So I'm really excited to get that going. Among all the other things that I'm doing, of course, let me do that too. But I keep looking for the calendar that I want to use, and I can't find it. So now I'm going to make it, and it will include the Gene Keys calendar. So there you go.
Awesome. Okay. Well, I'll have to look at this one that I ordered. I think it's going to be here tomorrow. And it was just on Amazon. And it has, I think it has all that. Like I think it has, it's a daily journal calendar. And
Yeah.
so I'll show it to you when I get it.
Is it Karen Curry's?
No, I ordered hers
Okay.
once, but that was before I even knew what I was doing. No, it's who is it? Anyways, but it has the moon cycles, this transits, and the gene keys on it. So sounds similar, but it was the absolutely only one, Jen. So we need more options out there. So that would be good. Okay. Well, welcome. How's it going? I have something fun to share with you guys today, but I just wanted to see how are you doing in this energy as we build up to tomorrow, and let's really all acknowledge what the energies are right now, how powerful they are, and so that we can for sure be aware of them. Now, I know Lane can't make it today, so I think it's just us, and we are recording, so we're good to go. So, Micah, how are you doing?
Well, good, other than I tried to join the wrong Zoom.
Oh,
I was like, no, Janice is usually pretty prompt, like not late. Like, what's going on? And I already had my phone on Do Not Disturb. And the person's meeting room I was trying to join messaged me. She's like, I don't have you down. Do you have me down? I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, no, I'm in the wrong room. I'm trying to join the wrong thing.
oh gosh.
Oh. Yeah. Other than that, good. Like, I'm glad the eclipse is over and all that business, so that things are settling down a little bit. I mean, clearly there's still stuff going on if I'm trying to join the wrong meeting. But, so
I agree. I feel like the energies have settled, which is interesting too.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay.
So, and I got I got invited by the crystal shop owner here to join in a holistic fair that they're doing in June.
Nice.
So she's like, I don't care what you do, just do whatever you want. Like it's
I love working with
just
people like
people
that.
here that it's basically just the people that are allowed to offer sessions here. She's like, that's all that will be here. And she's like, I forgot to include you till I saw you today, so don't forget. Like, okay. So
So what are you gonna do?
I don't know. I may just take in like a bunch of paintings or something. It will just be like a big open room, so I don't know that offering mini sessions or shadow coaching is very doable. So I don't know. We'll see.
Okay. Curious.
We'll see what comes up, you know.
Yep. Follow the guidance. I'm actually was invited to do a painting workshop on Sunday evening with a group of women, and I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that. So she hasn't even asked me. It's just come, show up at 5:30 or whatever to get set up, and same idea. I'm like, oh, okay, I wonder what's gonna come through. We'll see.
Yeah. And I'm doing a workshop with a friend that she's doing like a pelvic floor thing. And it's not like what she wants me to do or what wants to come through hasn't come through yet. Like little ideas have come through. But yesterday she called and she's like, one of the other teachers backed out. What am I supposed to do? And I was like, I don't know. What do you want to do? She's like, well, she was going to teach this. And I'm like, I can include that in my offering. And she was like, okay, great, it's covered. And I was like, okay, here we go.
Oh, fun.
So
That's awesome. I love it. You know, I felt an energy shift around these live workshops for me. Because it's been a long time since I've done a live one where, I take all the supplies and get the room ready, um and I kind of backed out of them for a while, didn't feel the call. And when I got invited to come to this one, it's private. They actually own a um kind of a restaurant thing here. It's not really a restaurant. They do catering, but they do have a room now that they can host events in. So it's private, and it's a really nice space, but there's only 8 people going because it's a birthday party. And I'm like, I don't know, it just felt right. And then all of a sudden it opened up the energy to that. And I was like, I feel ready again to do a few of these. And I really feel like it's time to find the space for the teepee. I was like stressing a little bit around that, but I almost feel like, okay, something's moving forward here. And it's time to get that teepee in its proper place and start to have events in it through the summer. So, yeah, I don't know if it's part of all this energy or if it's just me,
Yes,
but I
I'm
do.
coming.
Pardon?
Yes, I'm coming.
Okay. But it just feels like the energy has moved forward, almost like a block has been taken out and the river's flowing a little bit better. I don't know. All right. Who else? Delmain, what are you up to? You're
I'm
painting away.
I'm playing. I'm doing my chakra buffalo.
Oh, that is cool that you
So
won the chakra stones too.
yeah, and I had also done like I got molds for the chakra symbols. And
Right.
so I've been painting those and I'll put them in little velvet bags to sell, I think. And I have a couple classes coming up, so that's kind of cool. I have people reaching out to me to do Mandela classes. And that's why I was a little late. Excuse me, today I was I was working yesterday on my Sylvan Lake application for being at the beach there in the summer, and it wasn't working. And they changed their policy, so they added a bunch of mini courses that you have to take through Alberta tourism in order to even apply for the license. So I had to spend like 6 hours yesterday doing these little mini questions and whatever, which kind of ticked me off. But at the same time, it's like, whatever, it's reviewing what I already knew, because that's what I did with that 5-month course that I did in 2022 was a business course. And what do you do to attract your specific clients, and who are your specific clients, and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, it's done. I sent it.
Good.
So I do have to run to Sylvan today to go and pay for the actual business license, because that didn't, it's weird. They have their nice little website for the town of Sylvan Lake, but then they didn't have a place where you could an email,
Mm.
because I click on where do you contact email, and then it gives you nothing. So it's like, okay, whatever, I'll just go. I did that last year. I just go and do it in person. Like sometimes this technology really ticks me off. So anyway, I'll go in person. It's much quicker, and you get right to the point, right? Like, let's get her done.
Yeah.
Get her
So
done.
you got that moving forward. That's good.
Yeah. So that's all going. Another girlfriend here that I was kind of working with downtown, she's switched up her shop and now she's switched it again. She's a free spirit, and so things change for her, and she tries to adjust as she goes. And I totally love her to death, and I can. She's one of us, so it works really well. And so I'm going to go there. She's asked if people would like to come and volunteer some time in her shop. Well, that's perfect, because I'm just going to make them Mandela times, and I'll bring people in if they want to come. And if they don't, no big deal. I'll do my Mandelas on my own in her shop for a few hours, a couple days a week. And that's good. It's a good space. So I'm doing that, at least until the summer anyway. We'll see what happens, because I go on a whim when it's nice to the beach to do the sales. So, and what else? Oh, and my other girlfriend, she commissioned me to do her name sign. So this is the background for it.
Nice.
And I just put Willick in it. So that's almost done. I just have to resin it. And I got some special things.
She's got so much going on.
I do. I've been looking for skulls, and so I went to friends of ours who's a trapper, and so I got a beautiful raven skull.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, really cool.
Wow. That is
So I've cleansed them all and asked for blessings for them all. So I still have to sit with him and do a meditation with him. And then I sat with this guy, my wolf,
oh, wow.
and yeah, he's beautiful. And so I've sat with him already, and he's allowing me to paint him, and his name is King.
So cool.
And he wasn't a very old wolf. He was only 2 years old, I think. So that's him. So he's ready, and I've got him sealed. So I'm ready to do something with him, but I don't know what yet. And then the third one I got is a coyote. And he's just a bit smaller, but quite similar
Right.
to the wolf.
Wow.
But yeah, so and my one granddaughter loved this guy. She was playing with him. I said, well, he's not really a toy. You can't really play with him. But she's going, look, I can make his jaw move up and down.
Yeah.
Like, okay, well, so I gotta hide them. And then the last thing I did was I went out for a walk in our woods, and I found 6 cow skulls.
Oh, they're just coming to you.
Well, and that's where the graveyard is out there. So that was my
Mhm.
purpose. So she's gonna get the one center one, and then she's completely done. And actually I'm probably just going to hang this one in our camp out area where we have our reunion every year. We have a great big stage area. So she's going to go under there. And it's cool. And her name is April, and she's all about joy.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, yes, I've been busy, I guess.
Okay, you
When I
have.
put it all together like that, it sounds like I've been really busy.
Yeah, well, yeah, you have.
Yeah. So yeah.
Delmaine, I got a question for you. You
Uh-huh.
make reference to the wolf as a he and the coyote as a he, and then of course I know the cows are cows.
Yeah.
But when you come to the canine or the wolves and stuff, how do you know if they're male or female? Is their mandible different?
No, I don't. Their mandible. What do you mean?
Like their jawbone?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a clue. But King told
Oh,
me he's a guy.
okay. That
But I
was
don't
all I
know.
thought.
Yeah, I don't know about the coyote yet. And I really don't know about the raven yet because I haven't meditated with them yet. So
Just I just asking. I thought maybe there was a special
I
trick to know.
I don't think so on the skull. I don't know that you would know by the skull. You might, but I don't know enough science to know that. So I just go by what they tell me.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
And that's what it's about. Is the
Yeah.
energy, because the energies can come through both feminine or masculine.
Yeah. 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 Anyway, yeah. And then
Yeah.
I just was doing my chakra bowl. I thought, oh, what do I want to do with that? And then it came to me, and so I'm working on that, and I'll put the symbols in the middle of the chakras that are go with them. Yeah.
Cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay, Kelly, how you doing with these
Uh,
energies?
well, I don't even know where to begin. I'm not going to say it's a challenge because that makes it real. So when I went to Vegas with my brother, we got to know each other. We haven't known each other for 45 years. And it was a lot of stuff came up, and it's still coming up. And then Wednesday, my aunt passed away, and she was a close aunt to us. And
I'm sorry.
it brought up a whole bunch more stuff about when my own mom died. So I don't know if I want to call this a challenging week or it's just so everybody says, oh, what a blessing you got to get to know your brother. And I'm totally in agreement. So yes, I love the fact that I'm getting to know him, and it's just bringing up a whole bunch of stuff that I never dealt with 45 years ago. So here it comes.
That is in line with what's happening here. So yeah, so big hugs, Kelly, because it's not easy to bring that up.
And I don't share. If it's like and you got the recording on, and it's like, yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I guess I'll open my mouth because it's being recorded. And you know what? We're all vulnerable. And the day that I show my vulnerability makes everybody think, oh, she is fucking human. She's not a super person, you know? And it's like, because I think, don't let the little people see me have tears. It's pretty
Right.
hard this last week because when my cousin phoned, we're in the middle of supper, and so I just grabbed the phone and I walked in the other room, and my husband and my daughter said, oh, it must be Uncle. And it was, and my daughter calls my cousin Uncle because that's how close we are. And so then I get off the phone and they said, well, we're starting to wonder because like there was a whole bunch of laughter. And Katie goes, yeah, that's how mom deals with, and she does everything to lift everybody else up.
Mhm.
And so it's like, it's a tough time, and it's like brought a bunch of stuff up for when my mom died. So it's like, here we go.
Ready to release.
So
Let go.
yeah, I guess so.
And Jen came on, so I know she wants to say something about this.
I figured when she came on, I thought, okay, hi Jen.
Yeah, and that laughing and that presenting yourself in one way is fine, as long as you're being real and raw with yourself too, and where you are at. But go ahead, Jen. I'll talk after because I have
Kelly,
messages.
are you open?
Oh yeah,
Do
you
you
know,
want to hear?
I always say, yeah, I'm open, and then I hear this stuff and it's like, yeah, okay. Did I really want to hear that? So yes, I'm open. Thank you.
Mhm.
So, a couple things came through really strongly when you were talking, that this is happening on purpose. It's happening for you. And it's perfectly aligned with we've just left gate 51, which is the shock gate. You've had the shock. And that the most important lesson that I don't think is really being represented too strongly out in the world of astrology right now is that these shocks that everybody is talking about, like, oh, it's going to be a big deal. Like, this is the initiation for change. So for you personally, this is the invitation for you to let down those walls.
Oh
Because
yeah, thank you. And this whole class is like, we're coming up, next week's our ending, and it's like, oh, okay, now, you know, they're all saying shit or get off the pot, and it's like, I'm not even sure. And I keep telling Janice, I'm not ready. I'm not. I know. And then I held this, you know, what you just said, that this is the initiation, and it's time. It's you know, how long can I sit there on that pot? So, thank you.
well, and just realize that an initiation doesn't mean that's the start, that the time that you start to run.
No,
That's just the beginning of a new pattern, and your new invitation. And I loved when you said that this is bringing up a lot of stuff for your mom, because that's the start.
Mhm.
And it's hard, and I'm sorry, my heart hurts for you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I always think I'm a super person. It's like, yeah, well, I don't like being that person. I take my cape off at the end of the day and I just want to die. And it's like, oh, somebody phoned and needed help. So I put the fucking cape back on, and it's here I am, all happy go lucky and making everybody laugh. And so here I am. I'm really grateful for you girls.
Mhm. And so you hold other people, but who's holding you? Are you holding you? Can you hold
No,
yourself?
not right now.
Well, that's the number
So
one, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm jumping on the highway again Monday morning back to Alberta. This is a marathon trip, so it's like Carstairs, Calgary, Airdrie, Alberta, Edmonton, Spruce Grove, North Battleford, back home, all in a week. And it's like, and this is how I go and fill up my cup.
Mm.
Last week's trip was just a babysitting help thing. And so I'm going to fill my cup next week. You know, I can't get to Rocky. I don't think I'll have time to get and stop to Olds. It's one of those. And so the cousins are in Spruce Grove, where my aunt passed. And that was always a planned trip until she died. And I only found out that she was in hospice or in palliative on Tuesday, and she died Wednesday. So I didn't have 2 weeks like Curtis had. And he never left his mom's side for 12 days, which I was really, really
Aw.
grateful that he had that opportunity too, because
Yeah.
he's the one that phoned me when my mom died. So
Right. Yeah.
yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to call it a struggle. It's a process I'm going through. Because you know me and my words.
Yeah. No, it's not a struggle. It's a gift, really, because it is a flow. Like, and like Micah just texted, you have to feel to heal. It's very much let it flow, let the emotions flow. What's happening is your heart has been opened up again. And
Yeah.
and when we try to stop the tears, oh, everyone's sending you hugs.
Thank you, everybody.
When we try to stop the tears and say, but I'm okay, it's like we're blocking. It's like putting that dam up again. So just allow that to flow out for you first. And before you even go on your trip, hold yourself. You know, what do you need? And maybe you need to not be available for holding other people for a day or two. Right. And just, you guys, give me some space here to process. You know, it's
And
funny.
maybe you just need to cry a lot.
Yeah. Go
Yeah,
in the
I have
bath or
little
the
people.
shower and let it out. Watch sad movies and just let it out.
Yeah,
Or
I have
Folgers
little.
commercials.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Gets me every time. But Kelly, I just want to offer that I think we've exchanged information. If you need someone just to sit and hold space with you, you're welcome to reach out at any time.
Thank you.
Sometimes
I
it's
don't
easier
mind.
with those who are kind of farther away than those who are right, inside our tight knit circle.
Yeah, it's I don't I don't know how to word it. I don't go out and look for people to go and cry on their shoulder.
Mhm.
It's one of those, oh yeah, you're vulnerable, what kind of a thing. And it's like, yeah, I am. And it's when how do you word it? It's like when I bring that through, it's like, okay, there's my weakness coming through. But at the same time, it's like, oh yeah, she is superhuman. And she is a human, not just a superhuman. No. So
Mm. Well, your humanness is coming through, and
yeah.
that's fine because we're all human.
I
And
used to, when I made mistakes, I used to say, damn, my human came through again.
That's a good one. I haven't used that. Thanks, Kelly.
I never even thought of it until not that long ago, that I used to say that all the time when I wasn't really in my realm of doing all this. But I used to use that term all the time whenever I'd screw up. I'm like, it's human again. Human's coming through. And that's okay, because then I'm like, yeah, hey, that was really appropriate. And
yeah.
it's okay to cry. I cry now more than I've ever cried before
Me
since
too.
I've been in this group. And you know what? It feels good.
Oh my
And I'll
gosh,
sit
such
there
a
and
release.
cry at something on a movie or whatever. And it's just like, it's okay. Let it come. Let it, so I look horrible. It doesn't matter.
Go to the drugstore, buy one of the ice packs for your eye.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'm not a pretty crier either. But
yeah. It is.
Talking
It's
about
I'm
that, I
like,
just put my glasses on because I just saw those bags in there.
oh no.
Oh.
Let
I'm
yourself
like you, Kelly, like or have been like the hold it together and like I'll fix it all for everybody. And I've cried more the last 2 months than I'd even like to say.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
my kids are like, what's wrong? Did somebody die? You're crying. It's like, no, I'm just crying, okay? I have lots of suppressed and repressed emotions that need to come out, and they're all coming out at once. So it's okay if they see you cry.
I even went to
'Cause
a
then
funeral in November of a young man that was a young father, and I know his mom. And when I went up to give her a hug, all I could do was cry. I couldn't say anything else. That's all I could do because I just felt so sad. And she, all I could do is squeeze her. And then I walked away because I couldn't talk to her, right? But yeah. That's it. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay.
Well, and here's from the energetic side, what's happening right now is these old wounds that we have within us need to be released. And when we let the emotions flow and let it, it's like the tears are dissolving the tethers that are anchoring you into this 3D world. It feels like that to me. And so as we allow that process to come up and the tears to flow, and we're surrendering into it, which is the key word here for you, Kelly, is just surrender into the healing. I mean, that's for all of us. Surrender and let it flow. Process, journal, whatever comes up, and say, okay, right now I feel better. I think I'm moving on to the next one or whatever, right? It really, it releases the pressure when you can let those tears flow. It releases and heals in your body, takes the tension away, allows you to surrender to the higher will and frequencies. And so that's what we're doing, is we're moving into light bodies. And in order to move into light bodies, we need to let go of these wounds that are being held in our cells, in our DNA, in our ancestral patterns, in our human journey experiences. Let that flow. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. And just keep breathing and say that. I'm surrendering to the healing. I don't have to figure anything out. I don't have to go back and rehash it and go over it and analyze it. I'm just surrendering to the feelings and allowing them to flow. So many hugs to you, Kelly. It's hard to work through this shit, but it does get easier.
And it's, and like you guys said, there's something going on in the moon and the stars and I'm not one to follow that. My dad's big into that. And he says, I'm a whatever number he is. And I said to him, I said, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm a 3 or a 6. I did my numbers. I'm at 5 or an 8 or something. I can't even remember. It's nothing that even resonates with what I always thought I was. And I did it with both my, like the numerology thing. He says, you go ABC 1, 2, 3. And I said, like, well, this doesn't make sense. I always thought I was a 3. And he said, no, you're a 5, babe. Which doesn't, I don't know anything about it. But I have a few cousins that changed their names completely because of the moon and the stars and the numbers. And I was like, okay, I don't know anything about that. And but everywhere I've lived, I've had a denomination of a 3 somewhere.
Well,
And 3s and 6s. And then I go and put 8s on my license plate, which still isn't a 5. So I just maybe think I need to be an 8.
yeah, it has that book. I forget what it's called, but it's a numerology where you calculate your numbers and something about be who you're destined to be or something to that effect. I
Yeah,
can't remember.
Dad, I think that's one of the books Dad has. He's got like a bookshelf this big of numerology stuff, and it's like,
But it
okay.
reminds me a lot of the Gene Keys. Yeah, that one, The Life We Were Born to Live. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of the Gene Keys, and when you start to dive in, it's like, okay, that's not what I thought was going on. It's like, but oh yeah, the truth is there. Go deeper. The surface level is always kind of where our ego lives. And then when you go deeper into those meanings and the lessons and the stories underneath, you start and open up to it because we resist. We go, no, that's not me. That's not me. And then when we open up to it and go, oh, okay, now I'm starting to see this. Like there's something.
And the rest of the world tells you, oh yeah, that's been you all your life.
Sometimes, yeah, but and I was gonna say before too, I was venting to my sister the other week because these situations, they come up in waves, right? It comes up in waves and you just need to process and get it out. So I happened to be chatting with her, and of course it all came up in a wave by our conversation, and I started venting and blah, 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 and this, but I know this, and this, but I know this, and she kept going she goes, I finally paused. She goes, every time I go to say something to you, you say it. I'm like, I know, because my rational mind knows. I know what I'm supposed to feel or do or think, but my heart is telling me differently, right? And and we can really resist that in our heart, that process that our heart is saying, you need to go through this. You just need to feel it. You just need to feel it. And and so I wanted to share with you guys a huge shift that I had, which I hope will help you. But yeah, the process of finally getting to the point where I'm like, I don't know what to do with this anymore. I don't know what to do with this pain or this suffering that I'm feeling, and I don't want to feel it anymore. And I have a whole program that I teach, clearing debris through forgiveness. And the process is passing it on. Like universe, help me shift this. Whatever you believe, source, creator, help me shift this. I don't want to feel this anymore. And I was laying in bed and couldn't sleep. And it's like now going on to 2 a.m. And I rolled over and went, I don't want to feel this anymore. And I don't know what to do. And I heard, are you playing the victim role? And I was like, yeah, I am. And I had made a pact with myself. I wasn't going to play that role anymore. But this situation kind of came through the back door and I fell into that role. And the visual I saw was like a balloon and I was plugged into this balloon of this anger energy that's going on with these other people, and I was plugged in and I was like feeling all the pain and the hurt for everyone including myself, and feeling the like, oh, how could they treat me this way, like how could I never ever do this to them, and feeling that. And then all of a sudden I was like, pop, just unplug. And you get to that point, like it's not something you can do right at the beginning because you have to go through those feelings. But I finally got to that point and I was like, I'm feeding that energy. The more I'm plugged in and playing that victim role, how could this happen to me? Right? I don't want to do that. I'm not like that. I don't treat people that way. Okay, well, unplug from it and refocus on love. Refocus on all the love that is also here around you and the people are directing at you, and stop feeding that energy and allow them to go through their path, go through their process of learning. And when it involves people that are close to you, that's hard to do because you want to help them. You want to help them and you want to avoid the pain that you can see coming for them in the future, the regrets, right? But when we can come back and go, okay, this is not about me. They have to walk that path and I am not going to feed that energy anymore. And I am just going to redirect my focus into the love that is around me, and that will expand, because where you put your focus is what expands. The energy expands. And so feeling really good. And anytime it does come up as a wave, I acknowledge it and then redirect, reframe, because we get to choose how we're going to see the world. Are we going to see it through the lens of being a victim, which is what 99% of the world is doing right now? Or are we going to reframe it and shift to a new perspective and step into your light being, step into that infinite being instead of the human? And sometimes we're just not ready to step into that light being and we need to process that human part. And then, but if we stay there, that's what we create in our world as conscious creators. If we insist on staying in that human side, everything is energy, and that's what we create, drama after drama after drama. So, yeah. And this is about consciously manifesting in our life. So, yeah, that is, I'll leave that with you. And also, I have been shifting here a little bit. I have been playing around with two things that have really shifted some manifesting in my life. And one was the deep knowing. Well, when I sat down this morning, I'm like, what does this group need to hear? What needs to come through? I heard clarity. So the first one was get clear on what you want to create. Because I know a lot of us, maybe sitting in, I'm not sure, I don't know. However, we could stay there forever, and that's a protection too. But if we start to get super clear, review the clarity of what you want to consciously create in your life. If you knew that in 30 days you could create something that you want, what would it be? Or in 6 months, what would it be? What would be the lifestyle? What would be the feelings? What would be, the growth, the learning? So getting super clear and then knowing the deep knowing. So what came to me this week was, what is the frequency of knowing? The frequency of knowing that that is for you. If it is there in your heart, aw, if it is there, you missed it. She got a kiss. If it is there in your heart, then it's there for you. There is a version of you in your future that has already achieved it. And I've been saying this to people for so long, and I had a huge epiphany this past month of, okay, there's a part of my dream that I just keep pushing down. And I fully brought it into the light because I remembered as a child this dream. I remembered what it was. And it wasn't a clear vision as a child. It was just this is why I just want to do this in my life, right? I just have this version of me that has created something. It's like a mission, and it's big. And I'm finally saying, okay, it's there. I've been kind of pushing it to the side, going, no, I don't need all that. I love what I'm doing, and I just want to, reach as many people as I can. But it's like, oh my God, there's this yearning in me, this drive that there's something there that I need to create. And I'm finally looking at it clearly. So it's so easy to push our dreams down. And do you know, these full 9 months here that I've been with you guys, you're all doing that, pushing it down, just like me, right? Pushing it down, won't talk about it. Why do we have to talk about this, right? Won't, talking about money and wanting more money in your life. Like, that is the first step for you to have freedom to give, to serve in the world. We need that. So I'm going to ask you to really get real with yourself over this next week and really look at, what do you want? And if you don't have to know the how, you don't have to know how it's going to come about. Like, take that addiction to how right out of your life and just get clear on what is there in your heart, that when you get on your deathbed, you're going to go, well, that didn't work out. What is it? Because we have time. We have lots of time. Speaking of, the second thing that shifted for me was I've been playing around with time, my relationship with time, because through my entire life, it's always been a struggle with time. I don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. Oh, time's slipping away. Right. And I think it has come up for me because turning 60, I really felt like, oh, I missed my opportunity. And so I've had to really dig into that and get real about it and go, wait a minute. No. There's lots of time left here. Lots of time. So what are we going to do with it? And also then collapsing old timelines. So I've been playing around with meditations and activations and stuff that's coming through on how to collapse the old timelines and then bring forward faster, because I know that everything that I wanted on my mandalas, like, they're there. My dream mandalas, it's like, yeah, I've manifested it. Some of it has taken its sweet time getting to me. And I'm like, why? Let's play with this. So yeah.
Can I share something about time?
Mhm.
On Sunday, on our way back to Saskatchewan, I stopped in Didsbury to meet up with a buddy for coffee while I was waiting for our daughter. And we were having a great visit. And her fiance was going to join us at 9:45. And she looked at her watch and she said, "Oh, it's only 20 after 9. I thought he would be here right away." It was like, oh, it's like we slowed time down for our visit because we put a lot of content into that 20 minutes already because we met at 9 and it was like, we see each other maybe twice a year because when I go through, I stop in Didsbury if she's not working. It just so happened that I got to meet her fiance this time too. And it was like, oh, wow, we slowed down time. And we have worked on that in our Reiki classes together. And it's like, wow, we actually did it without even consciously realizing it. So it's possible. You can
It
slow
is.
down time. It's just,
I
and you're
used
not
to,
even paying attention to it. So
yeah, I used to play with that. 25 years ago when we lived in Ontario and I was rushing to my job, dropping kids off at school and always running late, always, always, always running late and rushing and going, oh my God, I'm going to be late. I'm going to be late. So I'd be driving down the highway and I would visually see like time collapse. I would play with that. Okay, let's collapse time so that I get there on time. And I always did. I always got there on time, no matter how many minutes late I was. I always managed to get and so I had forgotten about that until this past month. And I was like, I'm gonna play with this. And I think that it's not in our imagination that time feels like it's speeding up. There is something happening in the energetics of the world.
and the more you read about quantum physics, the more you have the ability to actually grasp it and slow it down. I just haven't read enough yet.
Just play with it.
Oh yeah.
Play with it.
Well, clearly we did it on Sunday unconsciously,
Mm,
and it was like, oh wow,
yeah,
look at that.
that's
And so
fun.
we sat there and thought we'd been there for an hour, and that Anthony was late. And no,
Oh.
he still had 25 minutes before you're supposed to get there.
Cool.
So
Oh.
yeah, you do it without realizing.
You do. You do.
So my week next coming up here, that's my intention is to slow down the time so that I have quality appointments all the way through Alberta. So it's
Yeah. That mantra, I have so much time. And I have had so much time this past month. Extra time. Just
and we're talking about today is our money mind flow get together and we're talking about time. And I've heard in many of my family, it's like, oh yeah, I got more time than money. Oh wow, let's change that. Let's have more money and more time.
yeah.
You know, it's like because it kind of goes like if you start saying you got more time than money, then say you're out of a job.
Right. Yeah. I have an abundance of time and money. Nice. Okay. Where are we at here? 10:26. Okay.
Well, thanks for listening to me, guys. You don't usually see that part of me, girls.
Did we
That's-
hear
that-
anything from Jen? What's happening other than your travels?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Delmaine. Thank you. Sorry, Jen.
Eh,
My gosh.
No, I mean, I kind of assumed I had already talked about it.
No.
I feel a little bit, so the time thing, like I definitely feel like I need to collapse time. I feel like time is going by really quickly. I will be, I mean, I know you guys know this, so forgive me for being redundant, but I love to learn. So like I have spent some days this week where I've been like 14, 15 hours nonstop, not even lifting my head really. And then I'll be like, oh my God, there's literally not enough time. Like there's so much that I have to learn. There's literally not enough time. And part of me is like, what am I learning all this? Why do I feel this pressure to learn this today, not like over time? And then there's another part of me that's like, you know, I want to work with Whitney and write my program. I want to do I have so many ideas for the Gene Keys and human design, but I have so many ideas that they're all flying around in my head. They're not coming to fruition. So then it kind of occurred to me, like maybe right now I'm just supposed to be working on myself, and that all of these classes and everything that I've done and all of the wisdom that I have gathered I need to shut the hell up and sit down and focus it on myself rather than I'm such a, like the second I get something, I'm like, oh, I want to share that. Somebody says something, oh, I want to do that. I want to share with you. I want to tell you what I just heard. Like I need to sit down, shut up, and lock myself in a room or something. I don't know what I need to do, but it feels really, it feels like I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. And also this is a really hard place to be. And so there's a lot of lesson in here for me to slow down and just be, and I did some serious clearing work with a friend of mine this morning. And I'm like, oh my God, Kelly, what you were saying earlier about holding the world for everybody. I mean, that's literally what I was releasing, was holding the world together for everyone, because it's not my job.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody asked us to do it.
Right. Exactly. And yet the people for whom we do it realize when we stop doing it. So it's interesting, this whole energy thing that we all talk about, like, and Janice, like what you said, my rational mind knows these things, but my emotional body doesn't respond in that way, like just wasn't letting go. And so this morning I got a glimpse of letting go. Like, I'm going to have to do that exercise 4,000 times before it's actually complete. But it just feels like there's been so much movement. And it's so strange because you guys, Kelly and Val and Micah, you guys don't know this, but I read an email a couple of weeks ago and I was like, oh my God, I missed the ending of this class. I thought it was over. And then I still was getting emails because I've kind of been added to the other group too. So I could kind of keep along and catch up because I've missed so many classes. So then I was like, I don't know what's happening anywhere. So I just have to step out because I'm going to step out of that tide because I'm lost. And all of a sudden I realized that the class is still going on. Like, what the hell? And in that period of time, I would sit down and I'm just going to paint, and I would paint something. And then I'd turn on a class that I was catching up on, because I'm catching up on everything. And literally what I had just done is what the class was that I was. So it's like, there are timelines of me where I'm working in all of these different levels, but finally I get to put it to work on myself as opposed to work. There's such a difference there. And I'm just beginning to understand that. And it's beautiful and it's terrifying at the same time.
One of the things that I've learned to do in the mornings, which I can do now, which I couldn't do before when I was working, because work interferes with whatever your intuition is telling you. You can't follow. You have to get out the door, right? So, but I have been very, very carefully listening in every morning to, where do I need to put my energy today? What's the intuitive guidance today? And the other day it was clean your art room. Like, I felt really inspired to clean my art room up. It's like I had another pile of things I should have, could have been doing. And I have another art course that I'm like, they're on week 4 and I'm on week 1. So
I'm so glad it's not just me. Thank you.
Yes, it does. Like, and you know what? I have to keep reassuring myself, because I'm like, oh, I got to catch up. No. And when I go no and I let it go, it feels so good, because I just think, you know what? Maybe this summer I'll have time to go through it slowly for myself, and it'll really sink it, because it's all about energy in painting. And so I'm like, I really want to take it. I just need to not be rushing through it. But anyways, just leaning in to that guidance and saying, well, what's the call today? And you know what? It all gets done in the right timing. All of a sudden you'll go, wait, wow, I got a lot done this past week, more than if I'd have tried to schedule it in. So there's
it's funny that you say that. You guys don't know this, but I grew up in the Bay Area and then lived in Denver for 20 years. And every summer I would drive my kids back to our family cabin in Tahoe that my parents bought when I was 12. So fortunate. And the last time I was able to do that with my kids was 2017. And then and that like disconnected my whole life. And I think when I left my ex-husband, I realized that I was going to lose a lot. Like that's what divorce does. I didn't realize that it was going to disconnect me from everything. It was like someone karate chopped my life, and
So true.
things that I loved so much went flying far away, and I could not hold them together. And then I met this guy and came out to visit him in Little Rock and moved there that day. Little did I know. So that's too far to drive. And he had to be at work and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, here we go. It's 2024. And last summer we succeeded. I got my husband, JD, that you just saw, to go to Tahoe with me for a week. And it was amazing. It was everything I could have hoped for. He is now in love with the place and the cabin and the thing. And he understands like what that place means to me and how it fed my soul. And so he has said that I can go there for like 6 weeks this summer. So I can drive our little truck out there with the dogs and pack up all the art stuff when it's too hot for me to even breathe outside and walk to the mailbox. So I'm going to go spend time in Tahoe. And honestly, I was like, that is the best gift ever. And I'm so excited. And then there's like this little secret, I don't know what voice this is, what part of me is absolutely fucking terrified of having 6 weeks on my own there, because, and obviously he'll come and go, but even so, like, I'll be on my own for most of the time. I love to be by myself. Like in my previous life, that would have been the greatest gift life could have given me. And now I'm like, what am I going to do? How am I going to keep myself busy? What if I get lonely? How am I going to manage all this stuff? Like it just, all of the what ifs, all of the hows, all of the things they're freaking me out actually. And so it kind of occurred to me the other day that I get to go, and if I don't like it, I can come the hell home. I can get into the car and I can come home. Like I am not locked there. I have my own damn car. But it was weird how the idea of being in my new life and my new person, in this new being and this new energy that I find myself, one of my kids, Camden, will most likely be in the military by that point. So he won't be there. My other son, I'm not sure how he would get there. So like, this is all new me, and I have to go re-engage with that energy and that love all by myself, which is so beautiful and also so scary. I don't know why I'm scared of it. So it occurred to me the other day, I'm going to wrap this up. It occurred to me the other day that all of these classes that I'm behind on, I can pack all of my art shit into my car, drive it out to Tahoe, and be by myself and take all those classes and paint my little life away on the back deck, paint with the pine needles for Pete's sake. Like I could paint, it should feel like a smorgasbord of joy that is bigger than any spirit can absorb. And so I'm hoping, I'm walking forward with that idea.
You will
that
have
now I have my
overflow,
classes.
an overflow of time. Yes. And
Yeah.
creativity and space to breathe. And so I think too, yeah, the whole thing is we got to stop looking at time as linear and see it more circular, moving around with us, right? Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love it.
How many days drive is it for you, Jen?
It's 17 hours. So
do you
back in my previous life, I would just throw the dogs and the kids in the car. We had a Suburban, so it was a mobile living room, turn on some movies, and I would just drive straight through. I don't know that my body is up for sitting in one position for 18 hours anymore. That sounds like a really long time. And my husband's kind of like, I need to drive out there with you. And I appreciate the chivalry, but actually, no, if you only have a few days off this summer, why would you spend 2 of them driving with me? So I don't exactly know how it's going to work. I haven't figured out exactly.
There's lots of hotels along the way, I'm sure.
There are. The question is whether or not they're going to be hotels that want
Dogs.
2 Rottweilers in the room.
Actually, you'd be surprised how many do now. They save specific rooms for animals. So
they're usually on the ground floor. So
yeah, I used to drive around with my dogs all the time, but they just weren't 125-pound Rotties. Like together, they were 125 pounds. mean, I have 250 pounds of Rottweiler in my car with me. So, and that's fine. I mean, I could pull over and sleep in a garage, in a gas station, you know. I've got
Yeah.
2 Rottweilers in the car. No one's gonna fuck with me. Sorry, I keep swearing. I'm sorry. Pardon me.
Hey, I think I started that this morning. So
Jenna, are you going to the retreat this October or not?
I am. I'm thrown off because I don't have a roommate necessarily, so I don't know how to go and reserve my room. Do you want a room, Janice?
Well, I have my name on a room, and
Where are you going? Where are you going?
to Whitney's retreat in October.
Oh.
She's going to start advertising it at the end of April. But she kind of opened it up to all of us that were there before. And I'm so disappointed that Micah and Karen aren't coming again.
Oh, you're not? Micah!
Anyways, yeah, so I booked my room, and I paid a little extra to have the one room in Cabin Coho. You have to scroll to the very side of that chart page. So there are 2 separate bedrooms, and there's 2 bathrooms. So it's a really nice one. That's the one Karen and I were in the first year, and we got it just to ourselves. If you wanted a roommate, you can have one, because there's a bunk above in each. Yeah, the bunks are teeny tiny, and you got to climb up. So otherwise you get a kind of, I think it's like a super single underneath. Anyways, but think about that. So my name is in there, and I think it's 1,300 or 1,600, and I think I paid this, or I booked the 1,600 to have the room by myself, because I need my space.
I need my space too. I need to be able to close my little window.
Oh,
because I'm not good at doing that on myself. I need the physical walls to support me sometimes.
Yeah. Well, we could support each other. And
Yeah.
Micah's you are going to, did you say you're going to Colorado? Where are you going, Micah? Colorado?
It's in Colorado. They've not announced where it's at yet. They've given us the dates, but we're looking at like 2 venues. So
nice.
It kind of just depends on how many people in our group can go. So
okay. Nice. Well, if you change your mind.
Yeah.
Or depending on how it falls, I'll drive up for the day and say hello.
Oh, that would be sweet. Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways.
Perfect.
Oh,
thank you so much.
It's getting late. I was going to fit a meditation in, but go do one of the meditations. It's late, and I know you guys have lives too. So, thank you. You guys are so beautiful. I love this. So remember, getting real and raw with what it is you want to create. Forget about the how. Don't worry about the how. Just what is that desire in your heart before you die? What's your legacy? I'm sorry, I'm a little morbid that way. I have always felt like a death has always been something that I used in my life to, I don't know, measure my life and keep going. And, what if I died tomorrow? What would I do? Okay.
Well, Wayne Dyer had a really good quote: "Is don't let the music die within you."
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, and every time I went to see him, it was the same story. He started out with, "Don't let your music die within you."
Yes. And I also watched on Netflix, you should watch this, Tony Robbins, I Am Not Your Guru. It's an old one, but it's on Netflix. And he really does, okay, bye. He really does remind you, this is your opportunity, this life, and to like live on the edge, like let's go. And most people are just living in comfort, and I do go there too, but it's like when you go to these, if you can go to these conferences and these seminars and these ones that really like pump you up again to remind you that this is your life and you get to create it and then go. Right?
Yeah, you talk about comfort zone. I was going to church at one time in my life, and somebody had encouraged me to be part of teaching one of the classes or something. And I said, oh, no, I'm quite comfortable where I am right now. Thank you very much. And this elder of the church, she says, yeah, well, God doesn't like us to be comfortable. So I didn't go back to church for a long time.
Okay, am I scaring you away? Sorry.
No. It just wasn't where I wanted to be. It's the whole church thing. And it was, I think about a year after that, we moved away. So I stayed away from church, that particular church with those elders. And I did actually start teaching that class. It was just it was not comfortable. So I did step out of the comfort zone, and it was like, yeah, I don't know if I like that. God doesn't like us to be comfortable. And it doesn't necessarily need to be God, it's spirit. And it's like, we get comfortable, we get very lax and complacent. I was looking for the word, it's complacent. So
Yeah, and I find that I am addicted to that feeling alive, right? That feeling of being fully alive. And if you think about when we travel, we feel that, get that opportunity to feel that, like you see things for the first time, you feel excited and awake, and let's go see what else is there to see today. And, that feeling of alive when you're going to start a new project and launch something new, a new creative idea. And we can feel that with just our own personal development and awareness, right? If we stay there, if we keep reminding ourselves to come back there, it's okay to rest in comfort for a while. It's like, okay, what am I going to do next that's going to stretch me and help me feel alive and awake and learning and growing? And yeah. And not everybody has that. Not everybody has that, but yeah. Okay. You guys have a beautiful day, beautiful weekend. Powerful weekend. Don't forget, this is a great time to get clear on what you want. Step into the highest version of yourself. Really vision that person, that one that you are. It's deep within you. Vision her and pull her in. This is a powerful alignment for us. This is more powerful than we've had in how many years, Jen? Since 1941?
So Jupiter and Uranus are conjunct. They do this every 14 years. The fact that they're conjunct in Taurus hasn't happened since 1941. And before that, it was like, I always forget, the Civil War or the Revolutionary War, one of those words. So it's like always about 80 years in between. So if we go back in time over those 80 years, it's pretty remarkable. And it doesn't help that, well, that's doomsday speak. It's also conjunct with our Pluto return as a country. So this is our big review of who we are, what we're doing, what we stand for, who we want to become. So as the United States of America. So there's a lot of spice in this soup. So we can hope that it simmers, and so that the flavors can really gel together and become something that serves all and is really nutritious, as opposed to boiling over the pot and making a mess of the stove.
Yeah. As well as a full moon in Scorpio on the 23rd, and Mercury goes direct on the 25th. So prepare to launch. All right,
Yes.
you guys.
All right.
Perfect.
Love you.
I love it.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
bye.